African villages are rich in history, culture, and traditions that have been passed down for generations. While many aspects of African village life are known, there are numerous lesser-known and fascinating facts that often go unnoticed. Below is an in-depth exploration of various aspects of African villages, covering history, architecture, social structures, economic activities, traditions, and unique customs. Part 1. History and origins of African villages. Ancient roots. Many African villages trace their origins back thousands of years, often linked to the earliest human civilizations. For example, some villages in Ethiopia and Sudan date back over 5,000 years and were significant trade and cultural centers during the rise of early human societies. The Dogon villages of Mali are believed to have been founded over 1,000 years ago. These villages still maintain their ancient traditions, including intricate knowledge of astronomy that predates modern discoveries. Influence of trade and migration. The trans-Saharan trade routes significantly influenced the formation of villages, as they served as resting points for merchants traveling between North and West Africa. The Bantu migration, which occurred over thousands of years, led to the spread of language, culture, and village structures across Central, Eastern, and Southern Africa. 2. Unique architecture and settlement patterns. Village layouts. Some African villages are built in circular patterns, while others follow linear designs depending on cultural beliefs and environmental factors. The Himba people of Namibia construct their villages in a circular layout, with a sacred ancestral fire in the center, symbolizing the connection between the living and the spiritual world. The Zulu villages in South Africa, known as kraals, feature a central cattle enclosure, emphasizing the importance of livestock in their society. Building materials and techniques. Many villages use locally available materials like mud, clay, wood, and thatch to construct houses. The Ndebele people of South Africa and Zimbabwe decorate their homes with colorful geometric patterns, a practice that has been passed down for generations. The Sahelian mud brick architecture, particularly seen in Mali and Burkina Faso, is highly durable and provides natural insulation against extreme temperatures. 3. Social structure and governance. Elder councils and traditional leadership. African villages are often governed by elders or traditional chiefs, who make decisions based on community consensus. Among the Ashanti people of Ghana, the village chief, or Omanhen, holds authority over land disputes, marriages, and community conflicts. The Igbo people of Nigeria practice a more decentralized form of governance, where decisions are made collectively by a council of elders and influential members of the community. Matriarchal and patriarchal societies. While many African villages follow patriarchal structures, there are several matriarchal societies where lineage and inheritance are traced through the mother. For example, the Akan people of Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire follow a matrilineal system. In the Tuareg communities of North Africa, women often hold significant social power and influence, including decision-making in marriages and trade. 4. Economy and traditional livelihoods. Subsistence and commercial farming. Many African villages rely on subsistence farming, growing crops such as maize, millet, sorghum, yams, and cassava. In some regions, cash crops like cocoa, Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, coffee, Ethiopia and Kenya, and tea, Rwanda and Tanzania, have become vital sources of income. Livestock rearing and pastoralism. The Maasai people of Kenya and Tanzania practice nomadic pastoralism, moving their cattle in search of fresh pastures. The Fulani people, one of the largest nomadic groups in the world, travel across West Africa with their herds, relying on traditional knowledge of seasonal weather patterns. Traditional and modern trade. Some villages still practice a barter system, where goods are exchanged without the use of money. Weekly village markets serve as social and economic hubs where people trade everything from handcrafted pottery to fresh produce. 5. Spirituality and religion. Animism and ancestor worship. Many African villages incorporate animistic beliefs, where spirits are believed to reside in natural elements like rivers, trees, and mountains. The Dagara people of Burkina Faso practice complex spiritual rituals that involve drumming, dance, and offerings to ancestors. 9. Unique housing and shelter innovations. Many African villages have developed innovative housing solutions suited to their environments, using sustainable materials and techniques that have been refined over generations. Earthbag and adobe homes. The Kassena people of Burkina Faso build beautifully decorated mud homes, often reinforced with cow dung and painted with intricate symbols representing protection and prosperity. In Sudan, the Nubian people construct dome-shaped mud brick houses that stay cool even in extreme desert heat, an ancient architectural marvel that predates modern air conditioning. Floating villages. The Ganvia village in Benin is entirely built on stilts above Lake Nokowe, often referred to as the Venice of Africa. The Tofinu people constructed this floating village centuries ago to escape slave raiders. In Zambia, the Liwa Plain communities adapt their homes to seasonal floods by constructing houses on elevated platforms or even on boats, allowing them to remain mobile during extreme weather changes. Underground and cliffside dwellings. The Dogon people of Mali are famous for their cliffside villages, built into the Bandiagara escarpment. These settlements date back centuries and provide both protection and a breathtaking view of the surrounding landscape. In Ethiopia's Lalibela region, some homes are carved directly into rock, inspired by the famous rock-hewn churches of the area. 10. Food and culinary traditions. African villages have a rich and diverse culinary heritage, with many dishes crafted from locally available ingredients and passed down through generations. Ancient and unique cooking methods. The Emu-style pit roasting, similar to Hawaiian cooking, is practiced by the Barotse people of Zambia, who slow-cook meats underground for deep flavor. In East Africa, particularly among the Maasai, milk, blood, and meat from cattle form a staple diet, with elaborate traditions surrounding their preparation. Fermented and preserved foods. Nunu, fermented milk, is a traditional drink in Ghanaian villages, often consumed as a probiotic-rich beverage. The Hausa people of Nigeria prepare fura de nono, a blend of millet balls mixed with fermented milk, which serves as a cooling and nutritious meal. Ting, fermented sorghum porridge, is a staple among the Sotho people of South Africa, made using centuries-old fermentation techniques. Rare and endangered traditional foods. Fonio, an ancient grain cultivated in West Africa for thousands of years, is making a resurgence as a superfood due to its drought-resistant properties. The baobab fruit, native to the Sahel region, is known for its high vitamin C content and is often made into a refreshing drink or porridge. 11. Hidden rituals and secret societies. Many African villages have deeply spiritual traditions and secret societies that govern aspects of their culture, social life, and religious practices. Sacred forests and initiation grounds. In Liberia and Sierra Leone, the Poro, men's secret society, Tagarade, and Sande, women's secret society, control cultural education, including spiritual teachings, survival skills, and ethical codes. Some villages in the Congo Basin have sacred forests where only elders or initiates are allowed, used for important spiritual ceremonies. Masked spirits and ancestral worship. The Egungun masquerades in Yoruba villages, Nigeria, Benin, and Togo, are performed by costumed individuals believed to embody ancestral spirits, ensuring their presence in the community. The Bwiti religion of the Fang people in Gabon uses the iboga plant in elaborate initiation rituals, believed to allow contact with the spiritual world. 12. Unique animal and wildlife relationships. African villages often have special relationships with local wildlife, influenced by beliefs, ecology, and practical survival. Sacred animals and totems. Among the Shona people of Zimbabwe, animals like the lion and elephant are revered as clan totems, representing ancestral lineage and protection. The Hadzabe hunter-gatherers of Tanzania maintain a unique relationship with honey-guide birds, which lead them to beehives in exchange for a share of the honey. Wildlife coexistence and conservation. The Loita Maasai of Kenya believe that lions should not be killed unless absolutely necessary, leading to a unique system of coexistence that has preserved lion populations in their territories. In Ethiopia's Konso villages, terraced farming and ecological conservation efforts have created landscapes that support both human agriculture and diverse wildlife. 13. Festivals and ceremonial traditions. Festivals in African villages are often deeply connected to agricultural cycles, religious beliefs, and social customs. Harvest festivals. The Homowo Festival of the Ga people in Ghana celebrates the end of famine with communal feasting, drumming, and dance. The Jerawol Festival in Chad and Niger is a unique event where the Wodabe men compete in beauty contests to attract potential wives. Rainmaking ceremonies. In Zimbabwe, rainmakers play a crucial role in spiritual ceremonies, calling upon ancestral spirits to bless the land with rain. The Himba people of Namibia perform elaborate fire-based rituals to communicate with their deities, asking for prosperity and favorable weather. 14. Unique languages and communication systems. African villages are home to thousands of languages, some of which have fascinating communication techniques. Whistling and drum languages. In the dense forests of Cameroon, the Baka people use whistling to communicate across long distances, mimicking bird calls. The talking drums of West Africa can convey entire messages through rhythmic beats, used historically for sending warnings, calling meetings, and storytelling. Click languages. The San and Khoikhoi people of southern Africa speak some of the world's most complex languages, incorporating clicks that make them distinct from other languages globally. 15. Astronomy and cosmic knowledge. Some African villages have advanced astronomical knowledge that predates Western discoveries. The Dogon and Sirius star system. The Dogon people of Mali have long known about Sirius B, a companion star to Sirius, despite it being invisible to the naked eye. Their knowledge was only confirmed by modern telescopes in the 20th century. Stone circles and ancient observatories. The Namuratunga stone pillars in Kenya are believed to be an ancient astronomical calendar used by early Nilotic tribes for tracking celestial movements. In Sudan, the Nabta Playa megaliths are one of the oldest known astronomical alignments, predating even Stonehenge. 16. Modern adaptations and the future of African villages. African villages are blending tradition with modern innovations to improve their way of life while preserving their heritage. Solar-powered villages. In parts of Rwanda and Kenya, villages are being equipped with solar grids, allowing access to electricity without reliance on national power systems. Ecotourism and cultural preservation. Some villages, such as those of the Himba and Maasai, have embraced cultural tourism, where visitors experience traditional life while supporting local economies. Digital and mobile advancements. Mobile banking services like M-Pesa in East Africa have revolutionized commerce, allowing villagers to trade without the need for physical banks. Drones are being used in rural Malawi and Rwanda to deliver medical supplies to remote villages,